don't move your shoulders very much.
My son, 4 years old, who's grown up watching us talk to Siri and Alexa, thinks you can talk to anything that has a screen or is plugged into the wall. This morning he literally told the toaster to order him a new Lego set. Fun fact about your boy, up until like age 10, I didn't know toasters had crumb traps, or like those crumb screens. I remember hearing about that and that just blew my mind. I'm like, whoa, it catches the crumbs so it's not on the counter? What? Wow! Seriously, I swear when I was younger I was either stupid or just grossly unaware of things. Okay, so I was arguing with my husband, and my son literally screamed, "Yay, 2 Christmases!" from the other room. Hey, at least he's prepared. He looked at the pros and cons of you guys possibly splitting up, and found a really nice silver lining. When I was around 7, I went to my uncle's house so I can play with my cousin, and while we were playing, I found my uncle's gun, which was, unbeknownst to me, loaded and ready to fire. I picked it up and looked down the barrel and thought, I don't see anything, so it looks safe. And then I proceeded to point the gun at everyone present in the house and scare everyone while thinking to myself how hilarious it was. That is a scary and very hilarious story, but also it just messes with me because your uncle is grossly incompetent. He really needs to get a gun safe. Oh my god, a lot of awful things could have happened. But even with that being said, could you just imagine little Timmy showing up in the living room with a loaded pistol, pointing it at everyone and giggling? Do you understand how terrifying that is? One time when I was in the 4th grade, me and my cousins thought it would be a great idea to do some science experiments we saw on YouTube. Well, it goes without saying it was a bad idea. We tried one that involved common household items that a 10-year-old boy could easily get that consisted of a water bottle, a bicycle pump, and a little bit of rubbing alcohol. So there we were, doing our little experiment when we forgot a crucial step. I thought we were finished, so I started to pump air into the bottle, then all of a sudden the bottle exploded. And I'm not even joking when I say it was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. After everything settled, we were all scared because none of us could hear anything. The 3 of us thought we were deaf, and after a few minutes, everything went back to normal. My neighbor called the cops on us, and I was let off with a warning, but my mom was not having it, so she grounded me for a few months. To this day, me and my cousins laugh about it whenever it comes up. Being a parent sometimes means a frantic effort to get your kid fed, dressed, and in the car, only to pull up to the school's drop-off zone 2 minutes before school starts and have them say, "But I'm not wearing any shoes." How in the world can that happen? How did you not notice your child walking to the car barefoot or just with some socks on? How did you not notice that? I mean, leaving stuff at home is reasonable. I remember being in high school and forgetting textbooks at home, but at least I'll be at school dressed. I would have all my clothes on. 4-year-old daughter is crying her eyes out. Me, what's wrong, Tudu? 4-year-old moving her hands onto the sofa. If my fingers were markers, they would ruin the sofa. But your fingers aren't markers. I said if. That sounds so adorable because it's from a 4-year-old. Could you imagine like a 14-year-old having that breakdown? I'm not a scientist person, but what I will say is that if you're not 4 and having breakdowns about having imaginary markers and whether or not they would ruin a sofa, you need some professional help. I mean, like I said, I'm no doctor person, but you know. When your daughter wakes you up at 5 a.m. to tell you that she has made a caterpillar at preschool yesterday and continues to talk about it for 2 hours and tells you that we have to absolutely pick it up today, so we arrived at the preschool and we were handed this. Like seriously guys, where on earth do I put this? Everywhere I put it, it just looks like a big turd. Welcome to the world of parenting where you have to act like your kid's art is essentially a Picasso. Can you imagine this dude having this caterpillar on his like desk at work or just in his house somewhere and someone just doing a quick double take of whether or not it's a turd? Okay, so one of my clearest memories of my grandfather's when he beat me in chess and I cried because I was a sore loser. And he said, "Okay, I'll play you left-handed." And then I won. And then it took me until like last week to realize he was a clown bastard.
You fool!
Once when I was little, I was making my grandpa a card for Father's Day. I had no pictures of us together, so I put a picture of me and my other grandpa together, and I thought it made sense because, you know, it's still a grandpa. Without the context of this person being a kid at the time and just making an innocent mistake, that sounds mad foul and super rude to do. Could you imagine giving someone the wrong Father's Day gift, or simply giving them the right Father's Day gift with the intentions of celebrating a different father? That is insanely foul. When I was a kid, I used to think that when I was playing a video game offline, now I know I was playing with robots of course, an employee would play it with me. So I was a little bit shy because what if he thought I was bad at the game? If only, that sounds like a cool job. Your only work throughout the entire day is just to play with people who don't have online access, which I know doesn't make sense, but in my mystery fantasy world it does. You're playing with a different person even though it's offline. If anything, this reminds me, and get ready, this is gonna age me, Nintendo game support or something like that, where you could literally call a toll number and they would teach you how to play a game or like how to do a walkthrough of a specific game. I remember that being a service, and I wish I used it because I'm almost certain that walkthrough books or just strategy books were more expensive than, I guess, the $10 it would cost to be on that phone call with a person who could just walk you through a game. I seriously wonder if that's still a service that they provide now, to be honest. So, when I was 11, I didn't know the difference between a veteran and a veterinarian, and I thanked the lady who put my dog down for her service. Ooh, could you imagine the tension and kind of cringe in that room? A small child saying thank you for putting down their dog? Ooh, ugh. When I was 3 or 4, my older sister taught me how to make Kool-Aid, and it was really good. One night at like 1 a.m., I went out to the kitchen and poured the red Kool-Aid powder straight into my mouth, and started crying when it tasted awful and it got all over my white shirt. I ran to my parents' room and they freaked out because this crying child in the dark was covered in blood and in agony. That is definitely a secret of the universe. How come Kool-Aid can taste so great as a juice, especially during a cookout or maybe during a hot summer day? But when you just take the powder and you taste the powder, it's like cyanide in the mouth. It just tastes awful. I don't understand. I don't get the science. I don't remember how old I was, but I was watching Friends with my mom and said, "What's the deal with sleeping with a girl? I've done it a ton. When I was younger, I slept in my mom's bed for some reason."
Do you want me to do a backflip?
Yeah.
My nephew is 5. I'm 33, female. And a few months ago, he asked me, "Auntie Franny, are you grown up?" And I got really quiet, cautiously looked around and put my finger to my mouth and told him, "I'm still a kid, but you can't tell anyone because no one knows." His eyes got huge and he loudly whispered, "I knew it." Now every time I see him, he comes up to me at some point and whispers, "Don't worry, I haven't told them," then proceeds to ask me more questions about my life as a secret kid. Every time I'm video chatting with him and my sister, and he sneaks in an obvious wink, and I wink back. And only we know what that wink means. And to this day, he's the only person that knows I'm a kid and that I've been faking it all this time.
Oh my god, it's broken.
Mom left her computer on when she was on eBay. I was little, about 4 or 3, and I chose to buy a toilet. Yeah, your mom must like you, because if I bought a toilet online with my mom's money when she wasn't there, online, I bought something with her money when she wasn't there, I wouldn't have a home. I wouldn't have a bedroom. I don't have a family anymore. I have moved out and lived on the street. I am now a street person. I wouldn't buy her the Dolly movie for Christmas. Oh, man. Oh, that's good. That's a good parent. Because you know what I would do? I would let her watch it. I would let her watch it. You want to make a scene? You want to scream in the Walmart about wanting the Dolly movie? Okay, we'll watch Chucky together. And you'll be scarred for life. You'll never make a decision like that again. Fun fact about Panda Daddy, yours truly. I, for the longest time, I want to say from ages 8 to 13, was horrifyingly and grossly terrified of the Saw doll. I didn't like the Saw movies. I remember watching them with my grandparents and being completely terrified. I was like, no, I really do not want that thing in my bedroom. I don't want to see it in an alleyway. It terrified me. And it took me multiple years to drop that fear. So, what's the dumbest thing you've ever did as a kid? Alright, so my shining moment was when I was like 4. I put floaties on my feet and jumped into a pool thinking I'd walk on water. I almost drowned. Oh man, I have something similar to that. I remember jumping into a pool and then trying to push like the floaty of somebody else up I don't know why I went to flip them or something, and I couldn't, and I nearly drowned. I had to like quickly swim out from under that floaty. That day I realized I wasn't Hercules and I couldn't just lift probably a 60-pound kid off of an already floating structure in a pool. Yeah, I don't know what was going through my mind. So, earlier today I was with my little cousin. She's like 5 years old, and usually she mimics what I do. Like, for example, if I want something and she wants to do the same thing as me, then I suddenly farted, and then she tried to fart and she accidentally pooped herself. I guess she loves me that much. Man, she had a moment. She learned that you can't trust every fart, man. The fart turned against her. I mean, we live in the modern world. You can't even trust your own bodily functions.
Okay, this is definitely worth it.
6-year-old cousin. Hey, I'm 7 years old, and you're 16, right? Yeah. Why? That means in 10 years, we'll be the same age. No, that's not how it works. I'm gonna be 16 too! When I was 5, my mom told me that a new family, the Shepards, were moving into a house down the street. After move-in day, I told my mom that I didn't see any Shepards anywhere. This is what I was looking for. I mean, that's a better alternative than some whack family. You can go to this guy and get some raw wool. Make yourself some warm sweaters and probably sell them, or maybe just wear them, I don't know. It's cool to have Shepards down the street. I heard that they're nice people.
Jabria, are you smart?
Yes.
Where is Mount Rushmore?
In my house.
Is that your house? You must got a big house then, huh, don't you? Ryan, are you smart?
Yes.
What happened every time Pinocchio told a lie?
He got a whooping.
He got a whooping?
Yes.
Good job. Trin, are you smart?
Yes.
What do you say when somebody says, "See you later, alligator"?
Peace.
Peace? Alright, good job. Cameron, are you smart?
Yeah.
Am I black or white?
White.
I'm white?
Yes.
Zane, are you smart? What's your favorite cartoon?
Mickey Mouse.
Why?
He's my friend.
Cause he's your friend? Alright, good job.
Kid destroys $15,000 Lego sculpture in an hour after new exhibit opens. Oh man. Oh no. I know that parent has to be crying. His pockets are crying. His spirits are crying. He's gonna have to reimburse that museum or that convention or wherever that was displayed all of that money. Oh man. I hope it was an accident. I hope that the kid kind of fell into it or something. Oh, that's awful. When I was 5, I heard a cuss word, don't remember what it was, and I asked my brother what it meant, but he didn't tell me. Later we got on a public transport bus and shouted that cuss word 4 to 5 times. I don't know why I did it, it just felt good at the time to say it for some reason. I don't know the psychology of it, but when I was younger, anytime I discovered a new curse word, I had to share it with my friends, man. I just had to. I had to say it a couple of times, I had to get real accustomed to, you know, keeping that in my vocabulary. Like, ooh, I wish I could experience that again. I need more cuss words in my life. I need some new vicious vocabularies, some explicit epithets, all that good stuff. I need more. When I was taught about the digestive system in year 3, I learned what the appendix was. I freaked out, and my parents asked me what was wrong, and I kept pointing to my stomach saying, "I'm worried my Einstein would someday explode." Took them a few minutes to realize I was trying to say intestine. Oh my goodness, that I resonate with that completely. On Nicktoons, when I was younger, I would watch this show called Back at the Barnyard. I loved it so much. There was a whole episode dedicated to this guy who kept complaining about his appendix exploding, because I think it was like a golf episode, and every time someone would hit a golf ball, it would hit him in the appendix or something. It was completely hilarious, but it terrified me because I think at the end he passed out. He talked about how he had to get his appendix removed. After seeing that when I was younger, I was always terrified that my appendix would become infected or just somehow fall off. I don't know, just get messed up in some capacity, and then I would pass out and die. I was always terrified just simply because of that episode.
E aí, minha amiga Mariana da 25 de março, tô passando aqui para te dar um feliz aniversário.
Currently, my 3-year-old is crying because he doesn't want to be a mammal. Bruh, if I could be any other species, I would totally want to be a marsupial. Those guys look like their lives are amazing. Like, they're just vibing. They can just vibe in the water. They're cool. They have friends. I want to be a marsupial. 4-year-old stuffs her pockets full of pine cones. Me, what do you think you're doing? Yo, I'm rich! Mom just told me that when one of my sisters saw a chicken for the first time, aged 18 months, she laughed so hard that she vomited. Chickens are pretty funny looking because they're really only grown to be eaten, so at this point they don't even really look like animals. They just look like, you know, dinner on stilts. A conversation I overheard of 2 kids today at a lake. I hope you guys enjoy. Hey dude, come back here. What? Come here. I can't hear you. Come here so I can hear you. Oh, stop. I know you can hear me. No, I can't. It's so beautiful. That's like an Oscar-worthy story right there. Like, if we could have like a Francis Ford Coppola to make this, you know, just... And we'll end today's video with a simple story. So, my grandma is a dental hygienist, and one of her patients is a teacher. She told my grandma that her first graders are swapping masks because they like the ones that their friends have better. What? That's not bad. I do the same. Imagine starting out with school with those plain little blue ones that everybody has, and then trading up to a cool Spider-Man felt one. And what's the worst that could happen? That somebody has a bad mask? I can't think of anything awful that could happen as a result of this. What's up everybody, it's your boy Ailurus, aka Panda Daddy, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, let me know in the comments down below, and leave a like if you liked the video, and if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe fam. What you doing watching videos and not subscribing, and if you're old, make sure to hit that bell so you get these notifications every time. Seriously, go ahead and take a look at that picture and make sure it looks like the picture. If you want to request any other Reddit content, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to request any horror stories content, either request it in the Patreon or in the comments down below. I'm going to be making even more content this week, so don't worry. You guys are going to get all the content that you want. And as always, I got to thank the Patreon supporters, so thank you to Taki, Bunny Boo, Dustin, Canned Eggplant, Kyle, Hostmark, Keith Myers, Hannah, Pixie Art 5, Lauren Green, Catherine Taylor, Jason, Arolina, Rajan, Clara, John Robinson, Ethan, Vermont, Noob Slur, Trenton Golden, Trojan, Yeetmaster, Arjen, Noah, Brody, Muffy Lou Who, Cleric, Sir Teacup, Immortal EXE, and Trey. Thank you so much for your support. It is greatly appreciated. And if you want to help support the channel, there's 2 links in the description, one to my Patreon and one to my merch store. Both funds go directly into the channel so we can maintain what's happening here. And as always, stay zesty.